Today we're talking about the 16 best things I ever bought for my style, and when I say best, I mean it, because you know me, I decluttered my closet multiple times and everything that I kept I absolutely love. So these items that I'm gonna talk about today are extra special because they not only elevated my style, but they also made my life a lot easier and practical. I'm gonna start with my outerwear, and this is my wool coat that I think I bought 2-3 years ago, somewhere around that. And at that point I wasn't sure if I'm gonna regret it because the price tag was kind of a lot, but now I'm here to tell you that this is one of the best purchases I've ever made because it's so practical and also so stylish at the same time. So now I'm at a point where I believe that if you live in a colder climate, you should definitely get a wool coat in a versatile neutral color that makes sense for you. For me, the color is black because, you know, I just love black and it's so easy to style. But the reason I'm such a huge fan of a wool coat is because it's so breathable. So yes, it's very, very warm when you're outside, but then also I realized that when I'm inside, I'm not overheating. So I can definitely feel how fabric feels just a little bit different than synthetic fibers. And because of that, you're actually much warmer, because we all know that when you start sweating, when it's a little bit hot, and then you go outside, you're gonna be even colder. But because you have breathable fabric, you kind of don't get sweaty, and as a result, you don't get as cold. So this is the one that I love. I always recommend that if you go for a coat, go for something that is just a little bit longer. First, it's gonna look very, very polished, very stylish, but then also you're gonna have more fabric to cover your body. Also, if you're like me and you prefer a more tailored look for a belt, because it's gonna make huge difference when it comes to the silhouette. You can tie it at the back or even just across the body. And then lastly, what I wanna mention is, because I love this one so much, I also added the ivory wool coat to my collection from the same brand, because I just love to have my variety. But you know, if you wanna keep everything minimal, one wool coat is going to be more than enough. To be completely honest, when I bought my puffer vest, I didn't expect it to be such a life changer, because I bought it to wear with my sporty stuff. So when I go on a walk with my dog or also my husband, that's when I wear it, and I've been wearing it loads that way, which is amazing on its own. But then the reason why it's in this video is because I realized I can also wear it with my normal outfits, everyday outfits, underneath my wool coats, because when it's just a little bit colder and I need another layer, I can easily wear it underneath. So I'm gonna get the warmth, because you know this is warm, without the bulkiness, because we don't have that bulky sleeves. And then more importantly, I also get the hoodie, because my wool coats don't really have a hoodie. So when it's raining or snowing, I need protection for my head, and because this vest has a hoodie, I also get extra protection. So it's nice to think about having some kind of puffer vest, again in a neutral color, that are really versatile. I went for something that is just really figure hugging, so it doesn't add extra bulk, something that is in one color, no obvious metal, so I could wear it with everything. Now that we covered the transitional seasons and slightly colder weather, now I can share my last outerwear piece that I love to wear when it's freezing outside and when it's below zero. And you can already guess which one it is, because I keep talking about it, and it's my black puffer coat that is really, really long, which is so important if you want to get a puffer jacket and you live somewhere where it's below zero and it's snowing. The longer you go, the more warmth you're gonna have. So the length is really important when it comes to the winter jacket. And again, with this one, when I bought it, it was really expensive, so I wasn't sure if it's gonna be worth the money, but now I would buy it again in a heartbeat. I particularly love this brand because of the attention to details. With a hood, you can really adjust it to your head, so when it's windy, it's not gonna budge, it's not gonna go anywhere. And then you can also, if you wanna just look a little bit more extra polished, you can remove the hood, and then you have the faux fur collar that you can put, so it's kind of a little bit more fancy and elevated. Then you also have loads of pockets inside, and it's just so well made. And what I really love about it is that yes, it's very warm, obviously, but also it looks very stylish, because sometimes I find that when it comes to puffer jackets, it's a little bit hard to find something that can also look elevated, something that you can also wear with heels or with dresses. And with this one, I can wear it with absolutely anything that I have in my closet. because it's also nicely tailored to my body, it just looks so amazing. So obviously I love this jacket very much, and I'm gonna link everything that I'm talking about in the description so you can have a look if you want to. But long story short, if you live somewhere with a colder climate, go for a long puffer coat that is just a little bit more tailored. Go for a versatile neutral color that you can wear with everything. Also pay attention to zippers, so they're versatile and they're matching with the closet that you have. And also always make sure to get a hood, because it's gonna make a huge difference when it comes to practicality. Now if you continue with my clothes, I have my black oversized roll neck that it's made out of wool and cashmere, which is a very important detail, and it's the reason why this jumper is in this video, because as I said before, when it comes to wool and cashmere, you're gonna be very warm without the bulkiness, which is amazing to have a nice style. But then also this particular jumper has a really high neck, which means you're gonna be covered if you're outside and it's windy and it's raining or whatever, you're gonna be covered and very warm. And because it's oversized, you're gonna be very comfortable. So for me, because I'm working from home a lot, I wanted something that can be very comfy, and this one felt like, I don't know, better than pajamas, you know. So it was really comfy. And then also the last plus here is because it's oversized, I can also layer it to the oblivion if I need to. If I go outside on a walk or something and it's really cold, I can layer as much as I want to. So obviously I love it so much, and all of these items that I just shared, the reason they are in this video is because they truly change how cold or warm I feel in the winter. One of the biggest mistakes that I made with fashion in the past is that I kind of accepted, okay, it's winter, I'm just gonna be cold. And I kind of accepted it because I had the wrong pieces in my wardrobe. But now that I discovered all of these items, I'm not cold anymore in the winter, which is such a life-changing thing for me. So that's why I'm sharing all of these items. But of course, as I'm going through everything, I also wanted to ask you that if you have any items of your own that you feel they are style and life-changing, leave me a comment down below because I would love to know. And now the next item that I have are my crop joggers. As you can see, they're high-waisted, and why I love them so much is because first, they're very comfortable. The pair that I have is so comfortable, it feels like I'm wearing sportswear, but then at the same time they look very stylish. And because they have a high waist, again, they're very comfy, they're very flattering, and they create that kind of rule of thirds that I absolutely love. And then the last very important detail is because they are cropped, it means I can wear them with so many different types of shoes. I can wear them with sneakers and flats and ballerinas, and I can wear them with pumps and heeled sandals and wedges. I can just change my shoes and wear them with whatever. I can even wear them with flip-flops and they're still gonna look amazing. Also, if pants are not your style, I also have another alternative that I think this one is also gonna be amazing, but because I just recently bought it and I didn't wear it for the entire year, I still cannot tell you how I feel about it, you know, from practicality standpoint. But what I recently got is a high-waisted midi satin skirt that I think it's gonna be amazing the entire year. In the summer, I can wear it with my sandals, with my heels, with my crop tops, all of that. And then in the winter, I can wear it with my turtlenecks and with my boots, and I can layer tights underneath, and I can be very warm. So this is another item that, again, it's too soon for me to tell you if it's, you know, life-changing or not, but I have a high suspicion that it's gonna be one of those items. And now the last clothing item, which I'm not even sure if this is clothing or if it's an accessory, but I'm talking about my unbreakable tights. And yes, when I bought them, I had the suspicion they're gonna be life-changing because they're unbreakable. And I'm very happy to report that I wear them all of the time. And I think I bought my first pair 3 or even 4 years ago. And ever since then, I've just been wearing them all of the time in the fall, in the winter, and also in the spring. And then I simply wash them in a little mesh bag and they're perfectly fine. Also, the ones that I own are from Sheertex, and I love their polka dot design because it's just so fun. And I have the normal polka dots, and then I also have the mini polka dots. And I currently have 3 black pairs, and then I also have just classic nude unbreakable tights in 30 denier that I can wear when it's just a little bit warmer. So I personally love my unbreakable tights. I also have a little doggy, and I'm happy to report that these are dog proof. And your dog is not gonna create a snack. I'm not 100% sure, but I also think they have some kind of policy. If you really break them, maybe you get a replacement or something like that. You would have to look at that, but honestly, if you love tights, I would highly recommend them. These are my clothes done, and now we also have some shoes, accessories, and some other items to go through. But before I share everything, I also wanted to ask you that if you're enjoying this video, that you give it a thumbs up, because it really helps me out. Thank you. When it comes to my shoes, I have quite a lot to share, but the first pair that I want to talk about are my oversized leather boots, because they're again life-changing, and these again were really expensive, which you don't have to get such an expensive pair, but when I bought them I wasn't sure if they're gonna be worth the money, but now I can tell you that I wear them so much and they're holding up so well. And the reason I love them is because they're flat, they're very comfortable to walk in. They also have nice little grooves at the bottom. Can we see? A bit dirty, but they're not that slippery, so it's amazing. I often wear them when it's raining and I'm perfectly fine. They're probably not classified as waterproof boots, but for me they are rainproof, so I love them for that. But then I also love them because of the style. These are so stylish, and you can wear them with absolutely anything. You can wear them with jeans, you can wear them with pants, you can wear them with dresses, you can wear them in the winter, in the spring, and in the fall. You can wear them in so many different ways, and because they are higher, because they're over the knee, they also give you that extra layer of warmth, which again, when you think about jackets, the longer they are, the better. The same goes with shoes. The higher they are, the more they're gonna cover your leg and you're gonna feel a little bit warmer. And I especially love wearing these boots with my high knee socks, so again, I have another layer of warmth. My next pair are white sneakers, which I know is kind of obvious and most of us own a pair, but I still wanted to quickly talk about why I love them so much. The first reason is because they're so versatile. I literally wear them the entire year. They're my most worn shoe ever, because I can wear them with my jeans, I can wear them with my faux leather pants, with my coats, with my tights, sometimes new ties of course. Then I can wear them with the dresses in the summer, with my shorts, with my skirts. I can even wear them with fancier items. I wear them with my blazers. I personally love sneakers that I can wear with everything, and this particular pair, because it's just a little bit lower and because it doesn't have any noticeable hardware or even the right stripes, I think it's just a little bit more polished and elegant. So having a white, really nice, elegant, polished sneakers that are a little bit lower, they're gonna be an amazing addition to your wardrobe. To be fair, my husband complains about this. He's like, Kim, you can do better. This is a little bit too sporty. So he said to me, when this gets ruined, he's gonna get me another, just a little bit more polished pair. And I kind of agree with him. But long story short, white sneakers are amazing. Of course, we also have to talk about my jelly sandals, because they are absolutely life-changing. In the past, I used to own flip-flops, like I had multiple pairs, and then I also had loads of leather sandals for the summer. And I distinctly remember that when I was going on a walk in my leather sandals and it started raining, I had trouble walking them, and also they would get ruined this way. Or if I went on a walk with my husband, let's say next to the sea, and I just wanted to go in for a second or two, I couldn't do that, because again, leather would get ruined, because leather and wetness, you know, they're not the best combo, especially when it comes to summer sandals. So when I found this pair that it's very stylish, but then also made out of jelly materials, for me, life changed, because now I love these shoes so much, and I wear them for every day, even if it's not raining. And then I can also wear them to the pool, I can wear them to the beach, I can wear them when it's raining outside. I really love the idea that I have summer sandals where I don't have to worry about them too much. I personally also have silver jelly sandals, because these are kind of gold, and then I have a silver pair. And then also I wanted to show you my flip-flops. In case you don't want to have kind of jelly sandals, let me talk about flip-flops. So I wanted to show you the pair that I have, because it's very stylish. And this is the first stylish flip-flops that I own, because in the past I almost always bought flip-flops that were kind of whatever. They were kind of made to be worn to the pool. They were kind of crazy colors. They looked cute, don't get me wrong, but now that I have stylish jelly sandals, these are a game changer, because they just elevate my style so much. I can wear them even with some of my fanciest dresses, with my fancier items, and they still look nice. These are obviously a black color, because again, you want to have a color that is just a little bit more neutral and versatile. But to be fair, if I would be buying them again, I would go for a nude color, because it would just be a little bit easier to style and it would just look a little bit more flattering. And then the last shoe we have to talk about are the heeled block sandals, because these are gonna change your life. I know, bold claim, but the reason they're in this video is because of how comfortable they are. They're my most comfortable shoe I ever owned. Nothing really comes close, because I just don't feel like I'm wearing anything like I'm wearing a heel, which is insane. But the reason for that is because the heel is not too high. This one is a 6 cm heel, and also because it's a block heel, it's very stable. And because I have loads of straps that are not too tight, they make sure my feet are in place and they're very stable. So obviously it's not about this particular shoe because these are very expensive, but it's about the type of shoe and how it's structured. That's why they're so comfortable, but they also look, very importantly, they look very stylish. And again, as I said before, go for a nude color for that elongating effect, or go for something else, something like a black or a brown color if that is your color palette. And now to another purchase I bought last year, and it's my big puffer bag that I absolutely love. And I had a hunch when I bought it, it's gonna be life-changing, because I just saw myself how much I can wear this one. And I was absolutely right, because I wore this one so far. I wore it as my shopping bag, I wore it as my overnight bag, I wore it as my gym bag, I wore it to carry my filming equipment, and I wore it when I was carrying some of my stuff that I decluttered from one place to another. So I wore it so much already, and I'm absolutely in love with it. And that's why it's in this video, because it's so versatile, but then at the same time it still looks stylish, you know? Of course, it's still a huge bag and it's not as delicate as the normal handbag, but at the same time, you can kind of pull it off with your main outfit. And I personally think this one could double even as a beach bag if I would need it to. The only recommendation that I would tell you is that when I bought this one, it didn't have a zipper at the top, so things were kind of falling out sometimes, especially when I went on an overnight trip. You know, if the bag fell, things fell as well. So ever since then, I gave my bag to the seamstress, so we have a zipper as well. But just a quick note, if you're going for a bag like this, make sure it has a zipper. And then the next bag that I have is what I would call my favorite color bag, which is kind of silly, but I think is really appropriate. And it's the main reason why this bag is in this video. It's because of the color, because I love all of my other bags, don't get me wrong, you know, I love all of my babies, but this one is so special because it's in my favorite shade. And to be fair, I do have another coral bag that I owned before I got this one, but their one is a lot more delicate. It has delicate straps, it's not as versatile, it's also a lot smaller, so I could only wear it in the spring and in the summer. So even though I love that one, when I got this one, because this one was actually sent to me from the brand, when I got this one, I knew I can wear it the entire year because it has thicker straps. It's also a little bit larger, so it looks proportional next to my coats, and I can put more stuff in. And yeah, I absolutely love this bag, mainly because of the color, and that's how, you know, it changed my life, because when I see it, I literally smile and I just feel so joyful. So if you're kind of like me and you really have a favorite color that just makes you smile, if you find a handbag that you can wear the entire year in a size that is really practical, I think it can be style and life-changing, because yeah, I love this one so much. And then I kind of have the same thing with my scarf, because this one is what I like to call my favorite color scarf, which again, it's coral, no surprise here. And this one I got last year and I've just been really enjoying it. I mean, again, I have a nice little scarf selection. I love all of my scarves, but this one is just extra special because it's my favorite color. I'm not sure why this color makes me smile so much and why it brings me so much joy, but why question it, you know? If it brings me joy, that's fine, I'm gonna allow it. And I know when my outfit feels just a little bit boring, or just a little bit too neutral, or just a little bit meh, or maybe I'm in that kind of meh mood, I know that when I put the scarf on, and then probably even my handbag, I'm just gonna smile a little bit, because this just brings me so much joy. So again, if you have some favorite colors, think about adding a scarf to your collection, and you're just gonna make your life just a little bit more joyful. And now the next category, it's gonna be a little bit hard to show you, but are my piercings for the extra haul. And if you watch this channel for a while, you know that up until I think 2 months ago when I got these piercings, I wore normal earrings in my extra hole on the left ear, which means that every time I was doing something where I would get wet, or if I was, you know, just lying on the side or sleeping, I would have to take the earring out because it was uncomfortable. But then a couple of months ago, I finally got some earrings, which I don't know why I didn't do this before. And now I don't really have to take them out all of the time. I can sleep in them, I can shower in them, I can go to sauna, I can train in them, I can do whatever, because when I bought them, I made sure they're out of waterproof materials. And now I have to say that my life has changed, and that's why I wanted to include them in here, because if you're like me and you just wear normal earrings, consider getting a piercing. I now have a nice little selection, so I can switch them out when I want to, but despite of that, I don't really change them daily because there is no need for that. It's also extra hassle I don't need in my life, but I do change them maybe weekly or every 2 weeks, something like that. And then I also have a makeup item that I talked about before, and it's my eyeliner brush, as I like to call it. But it's this little thingy that really simplified my makeup routine because I use it instead of eye pencils, which means after I got this brush, I decluttered all of my eye pencils except for the white one for my inner corners. I decluttered all of them out of my collection because I can use this brush with all of my eyeshadows to create an eyeliner effect or eye pencil effect. And I know this is not going to be for everyone, because I did realize that when I'm sweating a lot or when it's really hot, yes, the eyeshadow can smudge a little bit more comparing to waterproof pencils. But then at the same time, for everyday wear, for me, this is more than enough. And if you want to simplify your makeup routine too, and you love the look of, you know, eye pencil with a brush, give it a go. And then when it comes to my hair, I also have one tool that changed my life, and that is the Dyson Air Straight. If you know me, you know that I wear my hair straight most of the time. I don't remember last time I had curls because I just love that look. And in the past, what I used to do is just I let my hair air dry and then I use the hair straightener, because I have to admit I'm not the best when it comes to styling my hair. For some reason, I just feel like I have two left hands. So when I saw that the Dyson released something that you can use as a hair straightener on your dry hair, but then also you can use it to dry your wet hair straight, I had to try it, and honestly, I love it so much. It really simplified my routines. Now I really don't have to plan when I'm gonna wash my hair, because if I do it in the afternoon, I'm just gonna let it air dry and then I'm gonna straighten it in the morning. But then if I wash it in the morning, like I did today, I washed it today in the morning, then I'm gonna use this one to get it from wet to dry. I know this one is really expensive, but maybe there are some other dupes, but this kind of styling tool, I think it's amazing. Of course, talking about favorites is amazing, but then we also have to look at the other side, because I have 20 things I stopped wearing and buying after finding my style and becoming a minimalist, and I will link it here so you can watch it next. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.